Hi guys, my name is Regina. Karibu sana to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for your support through the other videos that I've done on Mtumba Bills. This is the 4th episode of Mtumba Business. So those who have not watched my previous videos, please go back and watch my previous videos so that you'll understand what is going on, because this video is a continuation of the other videos that I've done. So in my last video, I talked about the frustrations of the Mtumba traders. Also, I said there were talks that were ongoing between the leaders of Mtumba Association Kenya and the government. So after the discussions, the government lifted the Mtumba importation ban and issued some of the protocols that must be followed by the importers so that the government would allow the importation of Mtumba to continue. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of those protocols that the government have said must be followed by the wholesalers, the retailers, and the buyers. Some of those protocols are also directed towards the suppliers in efforts of reducing the risk of the spread of COVID-19. So the general requirements in the protocols issued by the government is that all used textiles and shoes intended to be imported in Kenya must be subjected to physical examination and certification under the pre-export verification of conformity to standards requirements. So the next requirement is that suppliers of used textiles and used shoes shall notify in writing to the PVOC service providers contracted by KEBS of their intentions to export used textiles or used shoes. The notification shall contain the following information as a minimum: name, physical, and email address of the supplier, name, physical, and email address of the importer, name, physical, and email address of the fumigation service provider, declaration of the country of origin of the goods, types of goods in the consignment, whether it's used textiles or used clothes or used shoes. So the other requirement is that used clothing and shoes must be cleaned and fumigated before baling. So that will be verified through a fumigation certificate that will verify that the shoes or the textile have been fumigated in the country of supply. So examination and certification shall entail inspection of suppliers, sorting and baling premises, verification of fumigation, and inspection of packaged shipments for the PVOC service provider. Each consignment must be packed in clear, transparent, and waterproof material. Each shipment shall be accompanied by a certificate of conformity or COC issued by PVOC service provider responsible for inspecting the shipment. Each package of the used textiles or used shoes sold in Kenya shall have a mass in kilogram that complies with the requirements of the respective standards. So previously there was that issue. Okay, that issue is still there, that the bills will be packaged in 30 kgs, and previously they were packaged in 45 kgs. So it is an issue that it has not been clarified, so we are waiting to hear the exact kgs of importation. So importation of used textiles and shoes will be undertaken through designated ports of entry. Importation of used textile and shoes must register with Kenya Bureau of Standards. So those are the requirements from the country where the goods are going to be imported from. So the other requirements are the ones that are issued by. So the other requirements are, just a minute. So the requirements for used textiles or clothes. Each bale shall contain a single category of garments. So that means if the bale is for shirts, it will be for shirts. So if it's trousers, if it's dresses, all those in separate bales. So each bale shall be legibly and should be inedibly labeled for the mass kgs, and also it should also have the name, physical and email address of the supplier, name, physical and email address of the importer, and the country of origin. So the other requirement is that the supplier shall make a self-declaration confirming that a shipment is free from items prohibited by the Kenya used and prohibited by requirements of inspection and acceptance of used textile products. So some of the clothes that are prohibited from importation are used nightwear, including pajamas, night dresses, and night gowns. Other clothings are hospital wear, used bath towels, undergarments including women briefs, men's briefs, brassieres, camisoles, socks, stockings, and underwear. So the requirements for used shoes are: each bale shall contain a single type of shoes. Each bale shall have a label which shall clarify the mass of bale in kilograms, the type of footwear, category of users, whether children or adults, name, physical and email address of the importer, name, physical or email address of the supplier, and the country of origin. So the last requirement for used shoes is the supplier shall make a self-declaration confirming that a shipment is free from items prohibited by the KS 1533 1999 Code of Practice of Inspection and Acceptance of Criteria of Used Footwear. So just a minute. For avoidance of doubt, prohibited items, that is prohibited footwears, are sandals, used slippers, and unused indoor footwear. So those are the requirements of importation of either clothes or shoes. So the other protocols issued by the government are about the responsibilities of the wholesalers, retailers, and the buyers in helping reducing the risk of spread of COVID-19. So the responsibilities and obligations of the wholesalers are: wholesalers of used textiles or used shoes must adhere to the COVID-19 prevention protocols issued by the Ministry of Health. They include fumigating their stores and surrounding every day at the closure of the business as per guidance provided by the Ministry of Health. So, maintain an inventory of each consignment and provide details of buyers and their contacts, including physical address, mobile numbers, and quantity sold. This must be made available to enforcement agencies whenever requested. Obtain and maintain records of inspection certificates of goods received. Wear appropriate mask or facial covering at all times while at the workplace, following Public Health Regulation of 2020. So, provide easily accessible hand washing stations with soap and running water or sanitization bottle for employees and customers. So, adequate aerate premises through open doors, windows, and clear ventilation. Provide for separate receptacles of storing used PPEs, such as used masks, gloves, before collection for disposal. So the responsibility and obligations of retailers will be: a retailer of used textile or used shoes shall adhere to the COVID-19 prevention protocols issued by the Ministry of Health. A retailer of used textiles and footwear products shall obtain business license and operate from an identifiable location as specified in the license. So maintain a physical address, mobile number, and contacts of their wholesaler. Wear masks at all times while at the workplace as per Public Health Regulations of 2020. So the retailers are also required to provide easily accessible hand washing stations with soap and running water or sanitization bottle for employees and customers. Adequate aeration premises through open doors, windows, and cleaned ventilation. Provide for separate receptacles for storing used PPEs, such as used masks and gloves, before collection for disposal. So the responsibilities of and obligations of the buyers will be: all buyers shall purchase only from licensed business premises and obtain a receipt of each transaction. Obtain the physical address and mobile phone details of the seller. Use hot water, soap, disinfectant to clean purchased items before use. Report to authorities, including KEBS, in the event of encountering an operator selling prohibited second-hand clothes and shoes. So the prohibited second-hand clothes and shoes, I've mentioned them previously. So if any buyer comes across a person who is selling them, is supposed to report that person to KEBS. So those are the protocols issued by the government that the Mtumba traders must comply with to be allowed to continue engaging in Mtumba business or to continue with Mtumba importation. Failure to which the government says that if they do not adhere to these protocols, it may result in implementation of any other legal sanctions provided under the law. So those are the requirements that those Mtumba traders must comply with to continue engaging in Mtumba business. So thank you guys for watching this video. In my next video, I'm going to talk to them so that I'll get their opinion about these protocols. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was informative. Those who have not subscribed, tafadhali finya subscribe button hapa chini and share also. See you in my next video. Bye.